Right, good evening, and of course, many thanks for joining us this wonderful and amazing Saturday. And it's a beautiful day to remind you that your sports prophet is in town. Ukiniona hivi unajua kwa wale wachezaji mambo iko sawa pale, odds za kishua. Anyway, it's a day that we have full and packed for you. Including the recent, of course, Kenyan performance in the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Remember, yesterday we played against Zimbabwe in Group J, and of course, it was a barren draw. Kenya were blunt up front, to be precise, and of course we were lacking the key services of our main talisman, that is Michael Olunga, and of course that to some extent we really felt his absence. And remember, up next, of course, the next journey that awaits ahead is a clash against Namibia, and that match will be played on 10th of September, just a couple of days away, on Tuesday next week. And of course, the task ahead that lies is actually a tricky one. And in this one, Kenya will be eyeing for at least another stab, the 7th time stab for this Africa Cup of Nations ticket, and this regard in their quest to actually hunt for this particular title. And they come up against one of the dominant teams in the African continent as far as the tournament is concerned. I'm talking about the AFCON, and Kenya is in Group J alongside Cameroon, the favorite to actually lead this pool. And of course, next they have Namibia, a team that in the previous editions, maybe 10 years down the line, it was a team that many people did not actually, see as one of the potential to actually clinch ticket. But in the previous, in the last two seasons, in 2019 and 2023, they clinched the ticket back to back. And of course, in 2023, the just concluded edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, their performance was superb, and they exceeded expectation. And for the first time ever in their history, they marched all the way to the round of 16. Now, this is a team that Kenya will be up against. You can imagine, in terms of class, quality, pedigree, and class, of course, Namibia, as of this particular moment, it's fair to say they stand tall head and shoulders against Harambee Stars. But in football, anything is possible. If our recent outing is anything to go by, then it shares in a ray of hope that anything can happen. We have met with Namibia before. They have won 4 times, and of course Kenya have won 2 times. Then in terms of statistics, you can see where we are. But it's a different day, new dawn, and of course new tournament, new year, and of course they'll be meeting at least for very long time since they last met, and it's a test of time. And of course, it's only a couple of days before now we see if really we have a chance of clinching the ticket. Now, Kenya still have a chance, remember, even if as they wind up their group tournament as the second most, as the second on Pool J, then they will eventually qualify for this Africa Cup of Nations, the 2025 edition that will be held in Morocco. And that aside, remember, another team that is preparing to go out for glory and at least try to redeem themselves, given their last performance was per standard, if that is the word I could use in this. I'm talking about now the Kenya Hit Squad. I remember the event will be happening on the 14th of September all the way to 24th of September in Democratic Republic of Congo. The last edition, that is in 2023 in Cameroon, Kenya, wind up the campaign 17th on the table. And of course, that was something that many people did not expect that will be happening, because there's a team that was topping the continent with quality boxers, but somewhere along the line, something went wrong. And in words of coach, he said that the change of the schedule could be the reason why some players really find it, or rather boxers really find it very hard to adapt to the new fixtures and of course coming to terms and reality with now the changing shift and patterns of the tournament. This time round, probably we hope that lessons have been learned, and after they missed, of course this is after the dismal performance, then came another heartbreak. Kenya missed out on the ticket to actually represent the country in the just concluded Paris Olympics, and that is now this is a new dawn, another new chance for Team Kenya to actually redeem themselves and of course reclaim their lost glory in the 2024 edition of Africa Boxing Championship that will be happening in Democratic Republic of Congo. And for the lovers of football, something amazing is really happening out, and now we are switching gears to the international football, and of course this is something that we'll be bringing to you in our subsequent sports review. But CR7, probably some say the GOAT, he has actually made a landmark achievement in his football career. Well, it's fair to say the first man to actually hit 900 goals, both for club and country. That is CR7. And of course, we'll be bringing you up to speed and of course, analysis by analysis, which club he has actually scored more goal when he wore the jersey. Is it Manchester United, Real Madrid, or Juventus, or now Al Nassr? And of course, in which area did he actually score the most goal? Is it his right, left, or even head? Because this is a player that has shown quality in terms of scoring goals. He can score with both foot, and of course he can actually both feet, and he can actually use even his head, and sometimes he has used some even chest to score this amazing goal. But the topic is about the landmark achievement, extraordinary milestone that he has actually set. 900 goals and counting, remember, because he's still active in football, and who knows, by the time he decides to hang his boot, who knows what the tally will be. And that is interesting to see, and of course it's just a good congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo. Don't forget the name that has been prominent in the list of Ballon d'Or this time round, that is Lionel Messi and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. Two notable names missing this time round. Does it show that this is the end of an era, the beginning of the end of an era of two of the most decorated players in the modern history of football? At least you and I have had an opportunity and a chance to see what they can do when they are on the pitch. But this time around, the discussion, the name, and the winner will be somebody else other than the two giants that for quite a time they have been sharing this prestigious award among themselves. History awaits to be written. Who will it be? Will it be Erling Haaland, Cole Palmer, Jude Bellingham, even Harry Kane? But sadly to say, no Manchester United name features on that list. 33 list of nominees and no Manchester United name on that. What does it tell you about football? Well, nicely. And of course, that in line with many other. And remember, we still have a couple of games lined up for you in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, and we'll be taking you through some of the fixtures, and so that you can see how your favorite team is faring on, and of course the team that you fancy this time round, if maybe they will clinch the ticket or not. And of course that is something that we'll be bringing you in a nutshell, and to bring you up to speed, to show you like what awaits your favorite team, that is Harambee Stars, in their next assignment and of course in their next encounter, and how does the table looks like so far In the same breath, we'll be switching over to the UEFA Nations League. A couple of matches were played in the midweek, and of course, even this particular weekend, we still have a number of fixtures and matches lined up for you. And of course, we will even show you how the dominant and of course the giants that for so long were the favorites of this particular tournament now fumbling, and the sleeping giants, some now waking up. And this is the good example is France versus Italy. What happened? Well, that was a game and a half, and this is just in line with what we'll be bringing you up on later on our show today. And of course, it's a subsequent review that we'll be bringing you, but we have some stories that we have highlighted to be forming the basis of our discussion today. Alright, now let's bring you up to speed with what is currently happening, and of course what has just happened within a span of 6 days or 7 days or so. Now, Harambee Stars were held to a barren draw by Zimbabwe in their opening Group J match of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, played at Nambole Stadium in Kampala in Uganda on Friday. Stars, who were without their main talisman and captain Michael Olunga, struggled to penetrate Zimbabwe defense line. Kenya's next assignment is a trip to South Africa to take on Namibia on September 10th in their second qualifier match.
It's very simple to explain. In the last match, he scored 3 goals against Zimbabwe. So we couldn't close this. Michael is a special player. So that's the reality. So like I said, for me it's counting very simple. For us now, it's this moment 0-0 is not the result we wanted. We wanted to win. But the reality in this group is only Cameroon has home matches. All other teams have no home match. So this means every match have a new history. This means in every match you can get 3 points. So therefore, like I said from beginning, it is for us important on the last day to go through the group. So it was not okay what happened today. I'm not happy with the referee. And like I said, I'm not blaming him, but I think in football, to improve football, the referees should not be on the side who are only defending and not playing football. So, and if you look at the match, in the end, all dangerous situation of Zimbabwe happened. Why? Because we was in hurry, played the ball in the center, and Zimbabwe got the ball. This means directly from our mistakes, not from build up. So therefore, I'm in general happy with the match, not with the result, and nothing changed in our thoughts about going to AFCON.
All right, that is Injin Firat, Harambee Stars head coach, says nothing has changed. And remember, in one of the press conference, Firat said, Morocco, here we come. This time round, he promised that Kenya will actually clinch the ticket. For now, it's too early to decide, or rather too early to judge whether Kenya will actually live up to that promise. In this case, Firat, if he will lead Team Kenya to actually clinch that particular ticket. But as things stand right now, a barren draw. We are waiting to see the result between Namibia and Cameroon to fancy our chances, because this will be the first match in each group. And of course, after this round, now we'll see a fair chance of either seeing if we can actually dare to dream again and see if we can proceed and challenge for this title that he so much promised that will come this time round. It's giving us some of the reason that could actually be the reason why maybe the team failed to score against Zimbabwe, a team that they beat 3-1 in the Four Nation tournament. Well, it's very interesting. We'll see how on Tuesday how things span in just a couple of days away. Now, the city of Paris will honor slain Ugandan marathon Rebecca Cheptegei by naming sports venue in her honor. This is after the French capital's mayor Anne Hidalgo announced Cheptegei, who competed in the women's marathon during the Paris Olympics last month, succumbed to severe burns on Thursday after she was set on fire by her husband or boyfriend in that matter at her home in Kitale in Western Kenya. Cheptegei, aged 33, made her only Olympic debut in the women's marathon and at the Paris Games, where she finished 44th. Indeed, that is really a tragic moment for athletics fraternity and for Ugandan at that particular point. And of course, we wish the family the peace and the comfort and closure, even as they come to terms with this sudden and tragic demise of their kin, and of course, probably the next big marathoner and the next star in the global stage that the world may never get the chance and opportunity to witness this global feat. Anyway, for the family and of course for the entire athletics fraternity in Kenya and of course in Uganda, we say pole. Now let's switch gears now, still on matters athletics. Double Olympics champion Beatrice Chebet and Olympic 800 meters bronze medalist Mary Moraa reigned supreme in Zurich Diamond League. Chebet bagged gold in the 5,000 meters women race at Zurich Diamond League, clocking 14 minutes, 0.952 seconds to claim victory. Now, in the women's category, in the women's 800 meters category, Mary Moraa rolled to victory in a dominant fashion, clocking 1 minute 57.08 seconds for her third Diamond League win of the season. Well, for that one, Kenya really is showing their prowess in athletics here, and of course, it's a good news for Moraa after a very disappointing Paris Olympics, where of course she bagged bronze, but she was really, disappointed with the performance, and she was hoping that she will actually bring gold to Kenya and win her first Olympic gold in the 800 meters. But the sky is not the limit. She still has a lot to offer and an opportunity and other venues to prove her worth, like in these Diamond Leagues, and we can only imagine what future holds for her. Now, Kenya plans to send a strong team of 25 boxers to the upcoming Africa Boxing Championship in Democratic Republic of Congo, slated to kick off October 14th to 27th this year. The team has been rigorously training at the Mathare Depot, focusing on both physical condition and technical prowess to fine-tune the athlete's skill, ensuring that they are in peak form for the upcoming championship. Well, it's a moment of redemption, and this is for Kenya, especially. There is the boxing team. Remember, the last edition, they finished 17th with only 7 bronze, no gold, no silver. The worst performance for the team that is known to actually dominate the continent. This time round, it's a moment of awakening. The change of fixtures and a few technical hitches here and there could be the reason why Kenya actually posted that dismal performance in the last edition. This is according to coach, that is Musa Juma, and that similar disappointment was actually stretched to the qualifiers when Kenya went out to hunt for ticket to represent the country in the 2024 Paris Olympics. Sadly, as a nation, we missed out on that glorious opportunity and a moment to actually add the medal tally to Team Kenya, despite the fact that the country finished top in Africa in terms of medal tally. But this time round in the Democratic Republic of Congo, it's another chance, another day for Team Kenya to actually shake off the dust and move on and show the world what it actually do. So the team waits. What awaits the team, actually it's big, and it will not be easy on paper and even in theory and in practical, as they'll be coming up against big names, the likes of Morocco, Algeria, the dominant force in this boxing in the African continent. But Kenya has what it takes to go out there and challenge for medals and surpass their last try to improve it. Well, we wish the team all the best even as they endeavor to bring glory to Team Kenya. Now let's switch gears to Paralympics. Now the debutant Samson Ojuka, a final year law student at Kenyatta University, rescued Kenya's fortune at the ongoing Paris Paralympic Games after claiming silver medal in the men's long jump. Ojuka's silver medal is the Kenya's first medal in this year's extravaganza as curtain officially falls on the Summer Paralympic Games in Paris. Ojuka produced a jump of 6.20 meter, coming second to Argentina's Brian Lionel, who bagged gold medal by jumping an incredible 6.42 meters. The medal was Kenya's first field event medal since the 2008 Beijing Paralympics, when Mary Nahumicha took silver in javelin, F57-58. Well, serious questions mounting about Kenyan's performance in this Paralympics, and one medal, a silver at this particular point, the only one. Well, that raises serious questions about Kenyans' ability to deliver on global stage, but nonetheless, it's a good one for Ojuka and bringing glory to Kenya, especially in the long jump. That is a milestone and a feat that many will actually, want to emulate that particular feat in the coming days. And of course, it's a reflection that we'll be having later on, just to see how Team Kenya has fared on games, even as curtain counts down officially today, the 8th of September, in a game that many had a lot of expectation in Team Kenya, given the quality and the caliber of athletes that Kenya send for these prestigious summer games. Well, let's switch gears now to some football actions. Now, ruthless Italy staged a perfect comeback to beat France 3-1 to kick off their Nations League campaign to a good start. At the same time, Kevin De Bruyne scored a brace to inspire Belgium to a 3-1 victory against Israel behind closed doors in Hungary in their UEFA Nations League campaign. In other matches played in the UEFA Nations League, Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 900th goal of his career on Thursday as Portugal beat Croatia 2-1 in Lisbon in their first game of the UEFA Nations League. Yes, and remember today we still have a couple of fixtures lined up. England will be up against Ireland, and that is a big match given two things, given that the history of now the England coach, the interim coach, and of course the nation that he leads. And there has been some quite amazing discussion, very interesting in regard whether he will sing the national anthem or not, and that is a subject to debate. And now it will be a big test for him, given that this is the first assignment for him, and many people will be keen to see what he will deliver. Will he emulate Gareth Southgate's success? Remember, he was under 21 coach, then given the job for just on interim basis, but he surpassed expectation and he was confirmed as the official England head coach. Will this be the feat that Carly will actually emulate? Well, we'll wait and see what will happen. So that is just among the many fixtures that are lined up for today in the UEFA Nations League. And if you remember, even in the African Cup of Nations, we still have a couple of fixtures lined up for today, including Cameroon vs Namibia. That is in Group J. Remember, in that same group that Kenya is on, and it will be keen and very interesting to see how the two teams will actually play it out. Will it be Cameroon or Namibia? So who will carry the day, or will it be a draw? And where does it leave Kenya in terms of chasing for this title? Remember, the first top two teams will clinch automatic ticket for the next 2025 Africa Cup of Nations games that will be held in Morocco. Will Kenya manage that one? And of course that brings us to our question of the day, where we are asking, what's your take on Team Kenya, on Harambee Stars versus Zimbabwe performance? What's your take on Harambee Stars versus Zimbabwe performance? Remember, that was their opening campaign against Zimbabwe, where they played to a barren draw. So what's your take on that? Do you think maybe Kenya could have done better, or that was the best given the circumstances that we find ourselves in? A couple of injuries here and there, and of course Kenya going to the qualifiers match without their main striker, that is Michael Olunga. Do you think maybe that could have been the reason why we were very blunt in the front line? Could that be the reason why maybe we failed to penetrate the defense of Zimbabwe? Talk to us on all of our social media platforms. You can share in your views and comment, and we'll be sure to sample during and at the tail end of our broadcast, or rather our show today. And of course, talk to us. We'd like to hear your views and comment. Remember, our social media channels are open, and you can even tweet me personally at Auma Evans, that is on X, at KUTV_Kenya, and let's see how you think about Team Kenya performance, and of course the very strong statement that Engine Firat issued in regard with very promising success of glory, and of course this ticket. Remember, Firat, prior to the kickoff, he said that this time round ticket for Morocco is inevitable. Kenya must clinch a ticket to represent to actually take part in this the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations that will be held in Morocco. This will be setting a stage for Kenya now, because Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, they are the joint host of the AFCON 2027. So for Kenya to qualify, if Kenya qualifies, then that will be raising the caliber and even the expectation and the belief that it can actually be possible now that Kenya prepares to host the AFCON 2027. So what's your take on that? Talk to us. And of course, we'll be taking a very short break. When we come back, we have this discussion about the AFCON qualifiers, and of course, the Cristiano Ronaldo, his 900 goal for club and country level, quite a milestone. And of course, we'll be tracking on Team Kenya's performance in the Africa Boxing Championship, the expectation, what lies ahead, and of course, if this time round, probably if their chances are at least a little bit lighter on, given the fact that last time they finished 17th in the in the continental ranking, the lowest for a couple of years since Kenya actually began taking part in this Africa championship, the boxing championship. There is a time we used to dominate boxing, but somewhere along the line, something terrible just happened. So it's a moment of reflection to learn about our mistakes and now try to improve on them step by step and see if we can surpass our previous record, 17. Well, that and many more will be coming to you in just a moment after this short break. See you now.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimwele. In a world where uncertainty looms and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the barrier and unlock your full potential.
We must live within our means. We cannot spend money that we don't have.
We will explore the fascinating world of investment, trade secrets, and entrepreneurship.
Sai challenges ziko mingi sana. Parking ya mzigo imekuwa mbaya. Unaweka pesa yako inakataa kurudi.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out, we've got you covered with invaluable insights to help you succeed.
Now, this year we have seen a rebound in the economy, which is well above the global average of the 3%.
Join me, Anyango Sylvia, every Sunday and Monday on KUTV News at 9, and let's turn your dreams into reality.
Ni kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
Kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet. Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
All right, welcome back, and this is the second segment of On the Sports Show. This is where we take you through sports review, locally and international. And of course, this particular week, talk in town. The big talk, it's about the AFCON qualifiers. And of course, this is where Team Kenya will be taking a 7th stab at this Africa Cup of Nations, not only to win the ticket, but to see if they have a realistic chance of bringing the trophy home. Well, that's a very wild dream, very realistic one, and very ambitious, if you ask me. But it's possible, and that is what Firat and his boys are out there to do. So on Friday, that is yesterday, they played against Zimbabwe in their opening qualifiers match against that is Zimbabwe in their first opening match of the qualifiers, and of course it was a barren draw. Well, prior to that, Indian Firat promised that this time round he will deliver the ticket to Cameroon. The ticket to Morocco, and so the first game was the test to see if really this ticket will come home. Well, at this particular point, it's fair to say we can dare to dream, we can believe that it could actually be possible. But beside that, we saw the game and there were a few points to take home. And we saw how Kenya was very blunt in their attacking. And of course, we lacked the services of our main striker, that is Michael Olunga, beside many other players that we missed their services because of the injuries that these players are nursing. And that is a big beating on Indian Firat and his team, because this one is a very competitive affair. Because all is at stake at this particular moment, and every team is capable. Namibia is hunting the ticket, Cameroon is hunting the ticket, Kenya is there, Zimbabwe is there. When it comes to statistically, and when it comes to quality, experience, class, and pedigree, we know that in this particular group, the journey is really tough. What awaits us as Kenya, it's not easy there. Because Cameroon is a team that even if they have bad season, good season, they will always qualify for Africa Cup of Nations. history is there. You can check it out for yourself. Then Namibia, for the previous 2 Africa Cup of Nations in 2019-2023, they have shown that this is a team that is there to actually compete, and of course they mean business when it comes to Africa Cup of Nations, and they have been improving. In 2019, their performance compared to 2023, a big difference. In 2023, they actually made history in their own rights, and of course in the history of their country, to actually proceeding all the way to the round of 16. They beat Tunisia, one of the Africa powerhouse. They draw against Malawi, another big team, big name in Africa football. And of course, now that shows that this is a team that has quality. And when you compare statistically, Kenya versus Namibia, of course, this is a team that we have played against. And they have won 4 times. And we have won 2 times and drawn 2. So you can imagine where we are. So Namibia is our next opponent. But before we talk about Namibia, let's reflect on Zimbabwe performance. And Engine Firat had very interesting aspect in regard to that. And of course, to help me unpack this discussion is my one and only Sam Metiaki. Asante sana for making time. And of course, Africa Cup of Nations, I remember on last weekend when we were discussing about Team Kenya and what awaits Harambee Stars. Well, we knew that Zimbabwe was not a walkover. We equally knew that Namibia and of course Cameroon is a team to actually take in interest in them, because in terms of their prowess and their dominance in this Africa Cup of Nations, beside now the quality that they possess. But remember, this is the second most successful team in the tournament's history. 5 titles, 2 shy of now another dominant force, Egypt. Well, when you take a reflection on what happened yesterday, Zimbabwe versus Harambee Stars, what was probably, how would you sum up that particular match yesterday?
I would say hiyo game ya jana ilikuwa game poa sana. But hatukuwa na anything new. Hata Engine Firat zile vitu walisema after game, that is the same old Harambee Stars tumezoea kuona. We were very blunt at the front. Hatukuweza kuthreaten Zimbabwe enough. Na actually goalkeeper wetu walikam to our rescue several times. So game ya jana ilikuwa, we expected Firat to at least do better, basing na vile alikuwa ametu promise before game. Alikuwa raise expectations zetu kidogo. But I think tuta have to lower our expectations kidogo tuone vile kutaenda na Namibia. But hiyo game ya Zimbabwe ikunifurahisha. Hata tukisema maybe tulimiss our top striker, as a national team, kila mchezaji yako pale ni mchezaji ambaye amefika kiwango. So hatuwezi kusema eti hatukuwa na huyu, that is why we couldn't do this. As a national team, we have a lot of players who are capable. So I think ni time to Engine Firat step up game yake na make sure we deliver result at least kwa game ya Namibia. Na tujaribu at least to hunt for a draw game ya Cameroon. But so far it doesn't look very good. It doesn't look very bright.
The stars of Harambee Stars, iko very not so bright.
Iko very not so bright. Na actually naanza kurealize the problem is not there at the national level. I think the problem goes much deeper, and it could be the reason why we are not finding solutions to our football team. Maana ukiangalia hii team, it has been performing that way for quite a long time. Nothing really changes. Coaches wanakuja wakienda, team ina perform. So I think ni standard ama something, but the problem must be deeper.
Yes. For a coach, like, unajua after game alitoa pressure. Kasikia akasema, first of all, aliblame pia coach kidogo. I mean ref. Kasema unajua kuna some decisions ilikuwa because of this and this, it could happen. Then injuries to at least some key players, I'll say. Because I think for me the moment that to get killed that game was again in the 82th.
Yes.
That was the clear chance there.
Yes,
and sadly because of I don't know, this is football. Sometimes maybe it's not a good day for you. So yesterday was not a good day for Harambee Stars.
Yes.
Because right now 3 points ikekwa already tuko na home. Because in the expectations of many, Zimbabwe was a must-win game.
Yes.
Because Cameroon na Namibia, not so sure.
Yes,
that is where you wanna place your chances, unasema luck.
Yes, especially game ya Namibia tunaenda huko South Africa. Namibia watakuwa wana feel more at home. So tulikuwa tuna expect at least as Harambee Stars, now that tulikuwa hapa Uganda, tungetake your advantage, we were closer to home. At least wange step up wa deliver a win for Kenya. Pia sisi fans for football Kenya tunapenda timu yetu ikiwin, but these moments are so rare.
And talking about the 12th man, me I was so disappointed when I saw the stadium very empty.
Again, it comes to the same problem. Why is the stadium empty? Football is entertainment. Kwa nini watu hawataki kuja kukuwa entertained? Because probably the entertainment is not as good. The football is not as good. Saizi watu wengi wana prefer kuona games zingine kwa screen than attend a football match kwa stadium. Hapa especially in East Africa. So I think that is why I've said the problem is deeper. The problem is deeper than the national level. I think there is something inafaa kufanyika from a very very basic level, ndio standards zipande. Hata kuita mafans kwa stadium, it takes good football. As a fan hawezi enda kwa uwanja kuona tu watu wana, you have to go. Ukienda kuona game uko expected kuwa entertained, but kama unajua tayari before game unaenda kuwatch ya 0-0 game, unaona it's not very attractive.
And I'm being told that this a lot of things like the way you say is not working. For wengine wana question the rationale behind a very competitive match like this. Fridays is a working day, and for a lot of Kenyans wanatafuta unga, maybe that's why tuliona the 12th man ilikuwa very impossible. Same case pia to the Ugandans.
Yes.
Because we were hoping maybe if not Kenyans, then Ugandans mashemeji
wangetokea. But pia hawakutokea vile tulikuwa tuna expect. Maybe inaweza kuwa ilichangia the fact that the match was held on a weekday. But again it comes to what one. I think tulikuwa tuna watch Champions League finals on weekdays, katikati ya wiki, Wednesday, Tuesday, and almost everywhere watu wanakuwa all hyped about it. So I think kama kungekuwa na promise of good football, I'm double sure kungekuwa na some numbers on the field.
Talking about promise of good football, the last Africa Cup of Nations go very very fresh. Well, in the history of football, and I'm talking about the modern age history.
Yes.
Well, that was one of the most followed Africa Cup of Nation. EPL ilikuwa inaendelea. Hata kuna mtu alikuwa na time ya kuwatch EPL. Ulikuwa like kuna focus, hii ni timu gani inacheza?
Yes,
I want to know. Well, I was thinking, or rather in my own, maybe nilikuwa nadhani now it's about time tumeanza now ku embrace our own football, and the same spirit, the spirit of Africanness, Africa for Africa. So that was what I thought. But kuangalia then naona this is a qualifier of a very interesting football, entertaining one, like the one we saw in Cote d'Ivoire.
Yes.
Then naona like stadium empty. Na teams wanna fight for their lives to actually take this ticket.
Actually, I think it's the responsibility of the teams. Wa work hard, wa wenyewe watu attract. You know, attracting is better than calling out people to come to support you. You know, if you are doing a good job, you don't have to tell people, you come and support us, you come and watch this, there is this. People automatically will get attracted to what you are doing because you're doing a good job. But if it's something that hata tunajua tu hiyo itakuwa hivi of course ndio inakuwa hivyo. So I think it comes to the standard. I think we have to raise the standards of football. Kama hiyo ya Africa Cup, I think ile kitu ilichangia ikuwe na viewership mingi. Walikuwa wanafollow hata from majuu, walikuwa wanafollow sana Africa Cup, na I think they are hunting for talents. Unajua they have realized in Africa there is a lot of talent. Na hiyo pia ilichangia kufanya viewership iende juu. But sasa unaona kwa game kama yetu na Zimbabwe, ilikuwa game poa, na kama maybe kungekuwa na win ama hata game ingekuwa interesting, kukuwa na goals maybe, that will be next game. Niko sure numbers zingeongezeka.
Okay. So key things. Nasikia marketing is very key.
Yes, marketing.
And ile goodwill from government is another very interesting key. Because kama ni mafans ndio tunahitaji grow. Maybe government inaweza amua sponsor a few people.
Yes.
Waende sini hapa tu Uganda. Washow love support kwa team.
Na nadhani ingekuwa very important hata kwa morale ya the national team itself. Sijui kwa nini government yetu haikuwa na initiative kama hiyo. Juu na countries zingine waka wanachukua initiative hata ya kuship some funds wenye wataenda kukuwa cheering squad. So hizi government yetu inasema haina pesa. You know, in Africa we have a lot of problems. So I don't know if tunafaa tuelewe ama tunafaa tufanye nini, but that is what it is.
Now sasa wacha sasa tukuje sasa kwa Engine Firat. Well, tumetry to explore areas zenye kidogo inaweza kuwa this is the reason why the team is not. But my biggest worry now ni our next assignment, because if we fumble at this then maybe tunaweza kuwa hata tuna beat bye this.
Nadhani pia hii ina pile up pressure kwa hata Engine Firat himself. Kama maybe ange grab a win yesterday in that match ya Zimbabwe, then I think angekuwa at a good place, hata angekuwa ana pressure mingi ya kiface Namibia. But now facing Namibia atakuwa na pressure ya a win. Na nadhani sio poa as a coach ama as a player ama hata as a fan, cooperate under pressure is not such a good thing. So pia Engine Firat kuna mzigo hapo ata have to deal naye. So things are looking tough kusema tu kweli, and we will need a miracle to get through this. Kama tutafika Morocco 2025, then we will have to work extra hard, which is possible by the way. It's not impossible, but we will need to unleash something that we have not seen in the recent years.
And do you know, like, is under the first test Engine Firat. I was looking at the time he took the mantle of leading Harambee Stars. From that time alikuja time tulikuwa in a crisis, a lot of kwa under band, tukakuja then tukaanza in as much as tulikuwa tukicheza football, but haikuwa very that competitive. Ilikuwa a few friendly matches here and there, and after that then sasa tukaanza now preparation for the World Cup qualifiers, now AFCON. This is the real test, the litmus test for Engine Firat. He will be judged based on this performance. If you ask me, if he delivers this, then atakuwa judged based on this. And 2027 is a bit far, so you need discussion that we'll have later on. But real test lies in this one. So I can imagine the pressure yako nayo right now.
Natakuwa na pressure, but I think as a coach ako used to pressure, so unajua ata deal tu nayo vile itakam. But we are hoping for the best. We are hoping. I'm really hoping to pate win game ya Namibia. Itakuwa very very great gift kwa the Kenyan football fraternity. Maana tumekuwa let down so many times.
And today Cameroon will be facing Namibia, and that match will be played at 4 p.m. East Africa time. And that match is a decider. who leads the pool.
Yes.
Yeah, because whoever wins that match will be leading the pool. And this match unajua ina set the tempo. And if Cameroon wins against Namibia, then tunaweza anza now kuongea about sasa penye now where we stand penye discussion sasa next. So what next?
Yes.
Team Kenya. A draw itakuwa ni fair play.
Itatusaidia actually.
It can go in favor, either in favor of Zimbabwe,
yes,
Cameroon wenyewe ama Namibia, because at this point you never know, because tunaongea from a point of square.
Yes.
Point of square. Sisi na Zimbabwe tuna share same point.
Yes.
So you go like prayer ni if Cameroon wins or Namibia wins, then our next opponent tunafaa tuwakanyagie chini. That is like if we win 2 at least sasa tunaweza sema like okay, we are safe, because remember games ni 3, points ni 9. Sasa hii tuko na moja. Tunahitaji win the rest, the remaining 2 matches,
and at least tuko na chance ya kwenda is number 2.
Number 2 sasa ni the last option for now. Tunaangalia the first option of winning all the matches. But in this group sasa yenye tuko group J, tukiwa na Cameroon, Namibia and of course Zimbabwe, prediction yako nani unaona ticket by the time tunafika November? Unaona nani ticket?
By the time tunafika November naona Cameroon utakuwa ndani. So that is why I'm very realistic. Najua we as Kenyans we have to fight for the second place. Maana Cameroon they are a really strong team. I always expect to play a 0-0 draw against Zimbabwe. This is a team that scores goals. Wanaenda on the offensive, and they're very good international strikers, midfielder. So Cameroon, they have the capable of getting the goals. So sisi inafaa tung'ang'ane, at least in these 2 games zinabaki, we at least make sure to win at least one of them or even both of them.
Okay. Na tungetaka pia wa Kenya watusaidie pia kwa hiyo watuambie like let me just remind you about our question of the day. What's your take on Harambee Stars versus Zimbabwe performance? What's your take on Harambee Stars versus Zimbabwe performance? Do you think probably Kenya would have done better? And maybe do you think that is the best we could or rather the best we offered yesterday? Well, you can talk to us on all of our social media platform. You can chip in the discussion, and of course we'll be sure to sample all of your feedback during and of course at the tail end of our show today. Well, back to you, Sam.
Yes.
Do you know like in this particular format this time round we have like so many teams in many pools, like we have pool A and automatic qualifying spots in there, of course, obviously the host nation Morocco. But in this pool, in pool A, we have the likes of Tunisia, Madagascar there, then we have Comoros and Gambia. Pool pia si ati ni si pool mchezo. And the last time tumeona a dip in form kwa a team like Tunisia.
Yes.
One of the best ranked teams in Africa. And last time Namibia ilikuwa a team that really served their ticket very hot. And it came as a surprise. And now sasa ikaanza raise a lot of questions about now the Tunisia, because a lot of players pia wana age out. And now moving forward now to the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, and in respect to that Group A, even as we take a look at some of these groups. Well, in Groups A, maybe
Tunisia.
Nani anapoza chance hapo? Nani unaona maybe?
Vile umesema tu Tunisia wame deep in form recently. Wame leave the group very open for teams like Madagascar. But ukiangalia pia they are not really good teams. So hapo mimi nadhani Tunisia wanaweza wakapenya. Wanaweza wakalead your group because of the weak opponents wako nao.
So we have Tunisia, Madagascar, Comoros, and of course Gambia.
Gambia.
The mighty Gambia.
Yeah, Gambia is also a strong team.
It's also another team yenye pia in 2019 walitesa 2023 walikuwa hapo kaona now this is a team to beat.
Yes.
And so wacha pia tuangalie group B hapa ndo sasa tuko na the host nation Morocco. Tuko na Gabon, Central Africa Republic na Lesotho. So
Morocco, Gabon, I think they'll be the teams now sail through. Central African Republic is a bit unstable. Is at a country how they really have a lot to deal with huko. Including instability. There is a lot of political instability. Then you are gonna create an atmosphere that is not very good for football. So I think hapo Gabon na Morocco. Na Morocco na watip actually hii Africa Cup inakuja, maybe they might just be the champions. Yeah, they are a very strong team. Tumeona hata kwa international tournaments. Perform very well against very top teams in the world.
And I think the performance yenye unasema wameperform very well. 2022 World Cup in Qatar.
Na niliona pia Olympics. Yes, they did good again.
But only
they still did good against some strong teams wenyewe.
Strong teams on paper, wacha tuseme hivyo.
Strong teams on paper.
Olympics inakuanga ni ile moment ya hapa Kenya tunasema aje. Let's say mtu kama Benson Omala hapatangi namba kwa national team. Olympic ni moment yake kushine. So but for Morocco, walienda hapo like
niliona
wanapata like
walienda all out.
Wanaenda wanacheza na unajua in football kuna underdogs and of course kuna now the real masters of the game.
Yes.
So wanapatana underdogs wana shine na wao.
Walishine na wao sana by the way.
So mtukaa unaona the real test iko hapo. Anyway, Morocco is a good team. We saw what they did in the World Cup. Actually the first team in Africa kufika semis World Cup,
which was a great achievement.
The quality that they have, and they have good players. They have very good players, and it's a team that can challenge for a title.
Yes.
So in that one, among the top contenders,
I think Morocco is
in. Well, but in that group, Morocco, remember wako Morocco, yes, Gabon, Central Africa Republic, and Lesotho. Another team that sidhani kind is oppose
really?
The real challenge, because now maybe teams zenye inaweza qualify hapa ni Gabon and Morocco. But in this group, Morocco ni automatic because the host nation.
Yes.
So two teams will qualify in this group.
In this group. That inapatia chance team kama Lesotho wa TBD.
Anyway, so Group C ndo another pool of death. Remember Africa most successful tournament most successful team Egypt wako hapo, the famous Cape Verde. This is another team wenye ina prove imekuwa a team on the rise actually, and people now ukiwatch Africa Cup of Nation, be sure like Cape Verde itatoa a very good performance and amazing football, very beautiful football that hata mwenyewe uko like okay, so this is Africa.
They have really improved.
So Cape Verde in line with in same group with Egypt, Mauritania and Botswana.
Egypt hapo ndio favorites. But hata wengine Botswana, Mauritania not really. Botswana they are a bit good. So maybe Egypt na timu nyingine yoyote hapo inaweza.
But if there is one thing that Africa Cup of Nation at least to awaken ni in this tournament hakuna underdog. Hakuna underdog, because teams yenye tuko tuna expect like to surprise the likes of Egypt themselves, Morocco, Tunisia, at least Nigeria walienda all the way to the finals, but the big names walikuwa kwanza ku exit the tournament. Egypt, they had their own fairy tale there. Luck play in their favor, but eventually they went home. In fact, walipost one of the worst results to shy witness. With all the qualities on your corner, the likes of Mohamed Salah there, very experienced players, quality players, but
yes, that is what I think that is what football is. Football is unpredictable. Kama saizi there are a lot of easy teams zina rise. Teams zenye kitambo tulikuwa tunajua these guys are underdogs, wanakuja wana prove something else. Nadhani pia hawa giants wanakuwa caught unawares, wanashtukia. Na unajua hii ni tournament. In a tournament you slip up kidogo, unajipata umedrop points. The next thing is you are surviving, you are out. So I think ni kitu interesting sana kuona kuna teams zina rise. Na wale walikuwa wamedominate for very long time before. Sasa they know they have to really fight to keep their places, which is a good thing in Africa's football.
Then Nigeria, the Oga, the Super Eagles.
Those guys are
in Group D. I think Nigeria is very lucky when it comes to Africa Cup of Nations. Wanacheza football amazing.
Yes.
Quality players, but now wana proceed by there, wanaenda up until the very, the dying stages of the tournament, but
they are just unlucky hapo kwa trophy.
Slip tu kidogo. Remember the famous over the bar? Then we came to the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes.
Kuna hii yenye wameenda all the way to the finals, but fumble in the last. But in the qualifiers wajai disappoint.
I think they are a really strong team. Na wanafaa tu wako na hapo sasa wa focus more, wakikaribia hiyo trophy wa keep more focus. Maybe tunaweza ona hata wakilift hiyo cup.
Ama do you think probably Jimino sometimes it's the pressure to handle the pressure that comes with the big stage. There's the final.
But they have the players
do or die affairs.
They have the players to carry them through. I don't think ni pressure. I think ni hiyo tu, maybe focus na luck sometimes. Maana tunaonaga they have everything. Wanakuwaga na among the top players wenye wanacheza in the top leagues. So these are really good team. Wanafaa wa work tu on their finishing end, alafu mambo inaweza kuwa you're talking of something else.
So Nigeria is in group D alongside Benin, Libya and Rwanda.
Nigeria wako na chance hapo, although these are really good opponents. Rwanda, Benin watawapatia a really hard time, but based on the quality Nigeria wana possess, tuna expect waweze ku maneuver through.
So kati ya Benin tuko hapo na Rwanda, then we have Libya. Nani unaona pengine anaweza join Nigeria kwa hii?
I think Benin wako poa sana. Benin wanaweza wakawa join ama hata Rwanda. As we have said, saizi the times of change. Tunaweza tukarait off hata Libya, ushtukie Libya ndio against all the odds wao ndio wana qualify. So I think for Nigeria hapo wao wako maybe tuseme wao wako as a notch higher kidogo, but for the three teams anyone can do well and wana qualify.
But in the last time it was Tanzania that carry the East Africa flag, man.
Yes.
But wakaacha very kitu yenye ilikuwa inaniuma sana, unasikia ati Tanzania hawajai shinda any match in AFCON.
Hawajai shinda any match.
They have never won. Any history. And the commentator was there to remind us about how this Tanzanian team
Tanzania is a really big country. Wanafaa kuwa na capacity ya kutoa wachezaji wana nini, especially their league is very very good.
Yeah, their league is very strong, but most of their players wana ship.
I think ni mambo ya kuwa local sana, unakuwa local.
They ship, they buy a lot. So
they buy a lot.
In terms of club wise, improve, but when it comes to now
the
national team, well, the story is still the same. Now in Group E, we have Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Togo, and Liberia.
That is a very, very tough group. Equatorial Guinea, they are not that bad. Algeria, we know who Algeria are. They have really some top talents. Algeria ni one of those teams tuna expect wa challenge hii Africa Cup inakuja. Although hizi teams zinakuwa na stars, saa zingine huwaga zina slip up. But tuna expect to do some. They really play some amazing football. Tuna hope to see more of that.
And don't forget the quality Equatorial Guinea. Remember in the last edition, top scorer alitoka Equatorial Guinea. So and I think this is a team yenye ilikuwa inafunga from 18 very long range goals.
Ndio walikuwa na ule striker alikuwa na scandal later.
Kwa naitwa Nsu. Kijana hatari sana.
Kiangalia kijana aliwabeba. Alikuwa anawabeba, alikuwa na experience sana internationally. So hiyo inakwambia tu international experience is very crucial when it comes to these continental tournaments.
All right. And then in group F we have Ghana, Angola, Sudan and Niger.
Ghana hapo ndio the top team. Angola pia waga wanacheza some good football. Sudan, they are not really that bad, but the situation in their country is not very good. Sijui kama itawa affect, but
do you know like the funny thing? Ni Sudan imeomba grao neighbors na wakararua mtu.
Yeah, Sudan. That is why we are saying Sudan is a really top team. Kama sio hizo vitu za kando waga zina disturb sana. I think Sudan is one of those teams to beat. Waga wanacheza
don't be surprised. Utaona Sudan imeclinch hii ticket.
Maybe pia hizo vitu zina happen kwa country yao, zina build resilience in them.
Because wanasema wawezi kuwa na wana struggle ati
tuna struggle on all fronts,
instability ya football na struggle. Walipata mnyonge
wakapita
naye and hiyo ni 3 points because sasa tunajua now this is a mathematics and unaona like where do you fare on and I think maybe it's among the teams when wanaweza clinch the ticket for the next for this the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Then in group H we have DRC Congo, Guinea, Tanzania and Ethiopia.
DRC Congo, Guinea, Tanzania and Ethiopia. Ethiopia, Guinea, these are really good teams. Tanzania have not been performing well in these easy tournaments vile tumesema. Sijui kama this time wanaweza kuwa na surprise for us. But I think Guinea hapo wako on a good place to qualify. And Ethiopia wanakuwa na very strong team, very resilient guys. Pia tuna hope wa post good results, maybe wanaweza kuwa na chance ya kwenda through.
Yeah. So in this team, maybe for me I see DRC Congo with ticket and of course with Guinea. There are very two strong teams in this group. For this time round for Tanzania itabidi venye tu ulisema miracle. Because it's not easy. These are very dominant teams. Teams yenye wanajua wamecraft the art of winning, especially when it comes to tickets. And then competition pia tumeona like whenever they appear wanna play some really nice football. Then a country like DRC Congo, when you talk about experience, they have very good players when you wanna play abroad. Some in the English Premier League, others in the French League. So the quality.
Yes, they have
quality.
Very good
The quality is something that for me I think inaweza fanya the likes of Guinea and DRC Congo sail all through. So I think itakuwa automatic ticket for them in this particular group. Then we have group I, where we have Mali, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau and Eswatini.
Mali, they are really good team. Hapo nadhani wanaweza sail. Pia wao wanakuga na hiyo advantage kama ya DRC. They have a lot of players playing abroad wako na experience. Tuna hope hiyo itakuwa the factor that brings the difference kwa your group.
Then group J, Cameroon, Kenya, We have Zimbabwe there and of course Namibia.
Of course hapo Cameroon ndio favorites, alafu maybe Kenya because courtesy of uzalendo. Because of
realistically. Nipatie top 2 like hii ticket by the time tukifika November. Na usiogope. Si wote ni wazalendo. But don't usiogope. Be fearless.
Actually I'm praying Kenya to nini. Maana nikiangalia Zimbabwe they are hawajafanya kitu yoyote ya kuonesha they are really above us. Namibia maybe tutaona leo kwa hiyo game ya Cameroon and after your game maybe tunaweza make predictions who can go as number 2.
Well, for me, it is simple. Cameroon, Namibia. I can tell you for sure. Because, first of all, Cameroon, like, angalia history. History itakwambia Cameroon, like, iko wako na bad season, like right now. Wako in a very bad form.
Mpaka nilisikia wanataka kunini under 23 sijui team ilikuwa stuck wapi.
Wako in a bad season, good season. Africa Cup of Nation ticket lazima wa clinch na wa participate na wa challenge despite the fact that wanakuanga in a very low season, low moments in their football nation.
Unadhani nini inachangiaga wao waweze kufanya vizuri?
I think ni quality, class, pedigree. Either way is in a play. Play a very, very, very big role for a team to perform, especially in the continental level. That's why Cameroon it'll clinch the ticket. Namibia, the reason why I'm telling you Namibia will clinch this, maybe nimewafollow. I saw them like niliona their game in 2019, nikaona pia in 2023, and I can tell you this is a team to beat. And most of their players wanacheza, I think most of their players, like half of the squad wanacheza South Africa. Wengi wao wanachezea Orlando Pirates na Mamelodi Sundowns. And no wonder we saw like their game against Tunisia, my friend. Niliona we
this guys hii team ni kali.
Hii team si ya ku underrate tu hivyo.
Na hiyo league ya South Africa inakuwaga a bit very quality.
Then wakatu prove with another performance against Mali, another very high ranked team in Africa. You know how West African nations, the way they they have good players because most of their players wanna play abroad. Very strong leagues like League 1, Portugal. Ukienda pale Italy wako, some wako in the English Premier League. That quality, and wanna compete against that. For me, these Harambee Stars, especially from what we saw yesterday, ni mzalendo, yes. Na pia mimi ni mreal. Tasema itakuwa noma. Pengine miujiza venye umesema. Finally ndo tukiwind up on this group stages, we have another very strong powerhouse, that is Group K. Tuko na South Africa, our neighbors Uganda, then we have Congo and another neighbor South Sudan.
Hapo naona South Africa wako na best na ile experience wanakuwaga nayo, a lot of good players wanacheza abroad na hata their home league is very strong. South Africa wako na chance hapo. And maybe South Sudan naona although South Sudan sioni vile watanini.
So in this group and this one you can take it to the bank. South Africa wata clinch the ticket, but the first person to clinch the ticket will be Uganda.
Umeona vile wanacheza recently.
I am telling you, Uganda will clinch the ticket. Then South Africa, South Sudan hata walipigwa, by the way, for your information.
South Sudan.
So in this one it's Uganda, South Africa for that. Now finally Group L, Senegal, another very good team.
Very good team.
Burkina Faso, Malawi, Burundi. Inakaa
obvious. Senegal, maybe Burkina Faso.
Senegal, remember walitolewa in this competition because of ilikuwa ni penalties. And before that penalty kulikuwa very controversial. It was a very controversial penalty. And a lot of players were so bitter about it. Some very bad words about the officials, especially from
so this time tunajua wanakuja wakiwa wanataka ku undo.
There is a team by the end team yenye ilikuwa inapatana na group stage na kukanyaga but sasa kwa knockout a lot of things will happen. And so that was a very sad moment for Senegal, one of the best teams, actually the second ranked right now
in Africa
after Morocco. And any team, even the quality of players you can see,
you can tell.
So are among the top contenders in this 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. But don't forget 2027 tuko hapo. So labda hiyo ndio inaweza kuwa moment.
That maybe
our time to shine.
Yes.
Anyway, so before tuchukue break kidogo, sijui kama mnaweza turuhusu tugusie tu kwa haraka performance ya Team Kenya, the boxing, the hit squad. Remember wanafaa ku fly to DRC. The women and men wana send a squad of 25 boxers. And last edition, well, inauma hata kuiongelea.
Alafu hata tukupa participate in the Olympics. So I think umekuwa na deep in boxing, and boxing haijakuwa ikifanya vizuri vile ilikuwa previously. I don't know what happened hapo.
And this is a discussion that we really need to have it because in the global stage we can understand. We are facing maybe very strong opponent wenye wamejipanga in terms of facilities, even technology wise. But when it comes to Africa, Africa tulikuwa tuna rule.
Especially
it was our throne.
Especially
the likes wenye wakina Nico Koth, very prime. This was our thing.
Yes.
But in 2023 in Cameroon, Kenya tulimanage like only 7 bronze peke yake. Na ili come from the likes of Elizabeth and Diego, Christine Ongare, kina Shafi Bakari. Hao ndo walikuwa the guys wenye walituletea those bronze. And kulikuwa na a lot of talks about the changing of schedules, and sometimes pia kulikuwa na a fault from officials wenye walikuwa na officiate the matches. And here it can serve as a painful reminder even as we forge forward. Like we really need to put our house in order and to make sure that ilikuwa very heartbreaking for, especially for those who follow boxing. And I think this time around maybe it's a moment of awakening, and it's about time maybe sasa tuta shake off the dust to keep forging.
Na tunafaa tuhakikishe pia tumepiga kelele kuhusu boxing. Ile support ilikuwa kitambo tunafaa government inafaa chip in, bring more support kwa boxing. I think boxing is one of those games where the support of the government is really helpful during technical. The players need very, very close attention. They need very, very specific equipments, very, very specific instructors. So I think hapa ni pale mahali sasa government inafaa pay attention sana. Ndio now that tumeanza kuona countries zingine zinaanza ku make inroads kwa what was our dominant, which was athletics. Sasa tunafaa tuanze na sisi ku push kwa hizi zinaitwa in ndani ya uwanja, michezo za ndani ya uwanja. Tunafaa tu focus sana hapo. Pia hapo pia sisi tuanze kupush our limit.
Okay. And in boxing, make no mistake, tulikuwa forced to reckon with because to produce the likes of Fatuma Zarika.
Yes.
Very known figures.
Very, very known figures.
The likes of Conjestina Cheng. When you talk about boxing, people will like, oh, Conjestina Cheng.
And that is why I'm saying the support thing is very important, because hata saizi these boxers, kama boxing ilikuwa really ina get ile support ina deserve, hata tungeenda up na situation yenye. Even our old boxers wana sasa wamekuwa neglected. Wengine unajua boxing is a game that hata I understand mtu inawaga ina interfere with your psychological. So it needs it needs a lot of input from especially the government to need a capacity ya ku bring that kind of support. I think tukifanya hivyo will be tunaweza tukarudi up to the top where we used to be.
To the top. All right, and as we reflect about where the rain started beating us as far as boxing is concerned, because there's a game that in Africa, well, we used to dominate.
Yes.
And I'm choosing my words very correctly. The word is past tense. We used to dominate. Right now, we can't say the same about we as a nation when it comes to boxing. But it's something that if we can buy the excuse that Musa Juma told us about the last edition, then probably let's hope and believe that in this coming Africa Boxing Championship that is just a couple of days away.
Yes.
It is on 14th of this particular month, and Kenya will be out there to claim Africa glory, the dominance that we used to actually brag of as a nation. And we wish our ladies and of course our men all the best. And two things, to perform poorly, at the same time pia tukamiss on the ticket to qualify for the Olympic Games. And that one was a key moment for some of the boxers themselves, and even some obviously wakikama out na confess wakisema that one to some iliwa hit for sure.
Yes.
Now is the chance for them to wake up and at least bounce back from dark days, dark moments. And hiyo ni history yenye maybe you and I and even the boxers themselves wazitaka kukumbuka and even to repeat itself. Well, as we reflect and think on this, let's take a very short break. When we come back, we'll be diving into matters international football, international sport, and then in that regard, football for the lovers of, I think yani GOAT number 2, Cristiano Ronaldo, because arguably the first GOAT and the only GOAT, Lionel Messi. For the lovers of GOAT number 2, of course, tutakuwa tuna highlight some of his success, a milestone, a very remarkable achievement yenye ameachieve as a sports person, and of course with many other highlights yenye tutakuwa tuna take through. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be back in just a moment.
Get ready to embark on a journey into the exciting world of technology as we uncover the latest trends, interview top thought leaders, and dive deep into the world of tech like never before.
Currently, we are facing the challenge in terms of finance. It requires one to move from different counties because we really need a large data set for our model to be more accurate.
In this new and exciting series of the Technovation Show, join me, Yvonne Kimuma, every Monday 8:30 p.m. for a fun and thrilling experience as we explore the cutting-edge developments, meet visionaries driving change.
Somebody who is in the underground mine doesn't know the presence of those gases. So there are a lot of gases involved. There is methane, there is carbon monoxide, and there is also hydrogen sulfide. These gases actually, they are very dangerous and they are very toxic.
And discover the endless possibilities of the tech world.
Are Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health, from diet to mental health. The familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV.
Alright, welcome back, and this is the last segment of On the Sports Show, and of course this is where we take you through some of the international reviews, and in this case remember kuna list imetokea, lakini list si ya ukambo, ni list long sana. It's about 32 to 33 nominees for this year's 2024 Ballon d'Or nominees, and in that list tuko na very obvious names, the likes of Jude Bellingham. This is a player mwenye tumeona impact yake akiwa Real Madrid since moving on from Borussia Dortmund to Real Madrid, and is among the key contenders in this list. Then we have Ruben Diaz from Manchester City. Then just in a nutshell, tuko na Phil Foden, Manchester City still again, Federico Valverde, Real Madrid. Then we have Emilio Martinez, that is Aston Villa, and the one and only Cole Palmer from Chelsea, Erling Haaland, Manchester City, Ademola Lookman, this is from Atlanta. Remember, he was very instrumental during Atlanta's Europa League campaign. They were playing against Bayer Leverkusen, and he was very instrumental in that title glory. And then we have the likes of Nico Williams. This is another, maybe a star in making, a star in making, because he was very instrumental in Spain's, this is a European nation. I mean, Euros 2024 champions, and of course he contributed. He really contributed a lot of goals. His playing ability was up to par. No wonder teams like Chelsea, Arsenal, Barcelona all were eager to acquire his services, and he's among the top players who have been nominated for this prestigious award. The same case with the former Arsenal star Granit Xhaka. But nikipitia hii list sijui kama umenotice kitu. Umenotice nini?
Nimenotice kuna players mpaka niliona kwanza ule alishika attention yangu alikuwa ni kama Toni Kroos mwenye tayari ameretire. Xhaka, lakini Xhaka hakunishangaza sana maana ya ile achievement Leverkusen walifanya. He was very instrumental in kwa hiyo campaign yenye Leverkusen walienda unbeaten. So he's a player who really deserves to be there. Ukiniuliza ile kitu ile ilikuwa surprise kwangu ni Ademola Lookman. This is a very young player. Ni juzi tu alikuwa sub Everton. Then he moved on to Italy. Then all of a sudden he was very instrumental in Atlanta's campaigns. Even besides the final, alikuwa ni player, alicontribute sana to the other games.
And even in the Africa Cup of Nations.
Even in the Africa Cup of Nations for Nigeria. So these
na Arsenal bado wanamtaka usisahau.
Arsenal bado wanawinda services zake.
Yes. Well, maybe kitu yenye nimenotice like unajua the list is long, I can tell you. But kwa hiyo list sijaona mchezaji yoyote kutoka the red
Manchester United.
Hakuna.
Inaeleweka maana Manchester United walikuwa na very pathetic season. Walimaliza 8th. So it makes sense that hakukuwa na player yote alikuwa worth kukuwa hapo.
But anyway, hapo Chelsea wako represented, Manchester City ndo wamedominate the list wakiwa na Real Madrid. And now we can narrow down because the list is long.
I think,
at the end of the day
kulikuwa na Florian Wirtz. This is a player mwenye ako very promising. Hata nilisikia Real Madrid wameanza kumscout. He's a player mwenye aliplay a very very important role kwa campaign ya Leverkusen. So Florian Wirtz ni a very promising midfielder from Germany actually. So I think ilikuwa the list is iko players wenye really wana deserve kukua hapo.
Tuko pia na Yamal.
Na tuko na Lamine Yamal. Alikuwa na campaign mzuri sana na Spain. Sasa ako Barcelona. We are following up to what he will do for Barcelona, but he's a very good talent so far. Although he's a bit young, I believe to make it to the list. But in some years maybe he will be among the top contenders.
Now just that to narrow down now to the real sasa. Unajua kuna wale sasa wale wenye tunajua obviously they can actually lift this thing.
Yes.
Haya. So na nimetry kwa sample. Nimeweka hapo the likes of Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham, the likes of Nico Williams. And when you look at now that particular list, who do you think maybe this 2024 maybe that carry the day?
I think Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior, I think kwangu hiyo ndio favorite wa kukare this time round based on ile success ameachieve na Real Madrid. Na alikuwa the focal point. He was very instrumental. Alikuwa ni top player mwenye alicontribute, aliscore final. Alikuwa ana shine in all the big moments. He was there for Real Madrid. Ukiniuliza mimi personally nadhani is the most deserving player. But of course tulisikia hii Ballon d'Or iko na very very complex criteria ya kuselect these players. Walisema I don't know coaches. I think coaches who wana vote for coach from all national teams. So I think hizo criteria maybe even journalists. But mimi ukiniuliza I think Vini Junior deserve.
And I think pia kuna a lot of things that you put into aspect when determining like who wins.
No, if you forget Pierre Rodri for Manchester City.
Yeah.
Is that guy?
I'm a win league. I'm a win Euros. Yeah. So when it comes to this matrix, those are the things that inakuwa considered mostly. So this one maybe Haaland anaweza pata makose because it's all about individual brilliance and even collective performance pia. Well, Norway
haiko in the Euros.
Lakini when it comes to club wise, I'm score a lot of goals. I'm contribute to City's success, especially in the.
Do you really believe Haaland ana deserve kuwini kitu?
Haaland. Well, when tu mesema me I believe like maybe the next GOAT. The next GOAT sasa the discussion of with now the next GOAT it's between the likes of Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, na Vinicius. Yeah. And probably could imagine another one called Palmer maybe from Chelsea.
That will depend on the performances of the team overall.
The team and of course even his nation England
national team and
contribution per se. And for now I think I'm with you on Vinicius Junior. Amekuwa stand out.
Amekuwa stand out juu actually sio goals tu. Pia ile kazi waga anafanya hapo kwa field. Taking on players, doing assists. I think he's a player mwenye ana contribute a lot. Tukiangalia all round performances zake maybe tunaweza sema is the most favorable kupewa hiyo award this time round.
But of course atakuwa against very strong opposition from the likes of Erling Haaland. Remember?
Yes, Erling Haaland.
In the last edition alikuwa second Messi. And kulikuwa na debate like, do you think maybe Messi alikuwa nafaa this? Amani, it was Haaland's moment to shine. Well, kulikuwa na hiyo discussion, but probably so now that Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo out of picture, by the hapa sasa ndo nilikuwa nataka ku get your take on this. Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo out of picture.
I think that in a mark end of an era. It has been very exciting to have those two guys hapo wabi dominate kitu for a very long time. Sasa now we have new faces. Tuna hope new players wataemerge. Pia ni interesting kuona new faces maana these goals wamekuwa hapo for long mpaka tulikuwaga tunajua kama si Messi ni Ronaldo, kama si Messi ni Ronaldo. But I think this time ni very interesting that watu wawili wako maybe now the fans can really pick the next GOAT.
So talking about GOAT. Unajua sasa hakuja kuwa na debate, hajai kuwa settled as much as tulidhani tumemaliza hii. Well, one GOAT maybe actually ako kwa path of making history. Maybe anataka ku set the longest history. Any other player mwenye atakuja after yeye of which I see hiyo history yake inaweza kuwa broken maybe because kuna player mwenye anakuja with a very high pace. Very speed. So do you think maybe now that Cristiano Ronaldo say ana bust and the glory of making a very
unique history,
landmark, and of course quite craft a very unique story as the first man to have actually scored 900 goals in his football career. Well, first of all, the man Cristiano Ronaldo, before I tuongea about the goals, maybe in a very short term, like unaweza sum up aje Cristiano Ronaldo, unaweza describe aje in a very simple.
I think Ronaldo is he debate ya GOAT in complex, but Ronaldo is a really talented player. Na on top of that he has been very hardworking. Na I think hiyo ndio imekuwa kitu yenye imemset apart from the other players. Sidhani kama kuna player mwingine yako 39 na anaonesha the kind of form yenye anacheza nayo mpaka saa hizi. But as I said, a good dancer anajua when to exit the stage. Mimi kama ingekuwa my personal opinion, maybe singetaka Ronaldo aendelee. He has already made enough history. Maybe ange move on to some other things ndio pia achie the youngsters wenye wanakuja platform pia wao make their own history, but of course kama vile nimesema nataka kuendelea, that is him who decides. But as for me, naona his time is up. Hata as much as I will try to just scoring goals, but his time is up. His time is up for me.
Cristiano Ronaldo, well, time is okay go up, but remember in 68 games amescore 62 for Al Nassr. Baget, that's it shows you this is a player mwenye haizi slow down anytime soon, and the target is 1000.
You must consider that Al Nassr is a team playing in the Saudi Pro League. That is not a very dominant league. So kama Ronaldo ako hapo anaweza ku get those goals, haimaanishi that is a very great achievement. Kama angekuwa bado anacheza maybe in teams like maybe in the top European leagues, angekuwa na chance hata ya ku make it, ya kuwa considered kwa hiyo list. Actually niliona after hii list ilitoka, Messi for his part anaga maneno mengi, but yeye alisema hakukuwa, kulingana na comments alitoa, hakufurahia vile alikuwa left out of the list. So these are players mwenye atosheki, ama mimi in my opinion mimi naweza sema huyu jamaa his time is up. Asonge tu pole.
Kusonga kwenda.
Asonge tu akienda achieve vijana wadogo.
But in this life lazima kuwa ambitious. You must never settle for
he has already achieved almost everything.
Yeah?
He has already achieved almost everything.
Not everything. And that's why he's not the GOAT. Because the real GOAT ameachieve everything.
Yeah, he achieved World Cup na kama
na time is up.
Sasa labda hiyo ndio inamkeep hapo, anaona
in World Cup the next World Cup itakuwa
sidhani kaita,
maybe atakuwa coach, atakuwa na coach Portugal maybe, because the next World Cup will be in 2020 2028. It's very soon, 2026. 2 years.
In 2 years.
Simple. 41.
Anaweza kuwa anacheza at 41.
Anaweza very much.
Pepe retired at 41.
Zlatan retired at
41.
Around 42. So it's very much possible as long as akona legs to kick.
Okay, but the question is, Portugal will Portugal go all the way?
Will Portugal go all the way? Now that's a big question, right? They have players, maybe they can go.
But he's a real good that player. Ronaldo ni player mkali sana, ni player hardworking. Besides scoring, ni player mwenye anafanya a lot kwa field. But vile tu tumesema, when ukisha dance sana, ikifika time ya ku-exit tu, you exit. You don't have to.
You go. Yeah. Another player mwenye ameset good example ni Luis Suarez. Yeah, amedance. And yesterday was his last dance.
Na alitoka respectful
against Paraguay. Akasema like, it doesn't matter. This is my last and I'm gone.
I think
I may leave history. Actually end of the country's top scorer. I set a very
good example.
Which enye pia ita take time kuvunjwa. Wacha tu analyze now Cristiano Ronaldo sasa ametumia nini kuscore 900 goals. Na hizi 900 goals zimetoka wapi? Alianza career yake Sporting Lisbon. Akacheza 31 games, akascore 5 goals. Kumaanisha Cristiano Ronaldo akiwa myanga kwa mkali vile. So the more ana grow, the more akaanza ku age like fine wine. They say hiyo ni kizungu, but tujaijua meaning vizuri, tuta find out. Manchester United aliscore 145 goals. Ni combine. Alienda akarudi. Then in Real Madrid, sasa hapa ndo alikuwa at peak of his career. Aliscore 450 goals for Real Madrid. That include even in Champions League. In Juventus, 101 of a short period nyamekuwa huko. Then in his new club Al Nassr, amescore 62 goals out of 68 games amecheza. So nizaona hata
that is a good record.
the way ana score like ukiangalia goal rate yake na akiwa Al Nassr na Real Madrid it's almost the same. Yeah. Then for his country Portugal, amescore 131 goals for his country, and again ana lead. Ameset record yenye probably na bado anataka kuongeza zingine. So this is the man we are talking about.
Wewe by the way unaona aendelee kucheza beat your record ya 1000 ama pia wewe unaona ni time?
Ai, jamaa acheze.
Nataka wazee kwa game.
Wewe unataka history tuambie nani? Lazima tukae hapa siku moja tuseme like there was a player like Cristiano Ronaldo. 1000 goals. Kuna any other players ashaifikisha hiyo? Kumekuwa great players. Pele the Great. Sijui who.
Lakini mimi naangalia na hii perspective ya unajua football inakuwa analyzed from a broader angle. Football at way haiko based too on goals. So mimi naona actually ile
football is goals.
Really?
Goals.
Kuna players tunawakumbuka mpaka saizi not for their goals.
No, we remember players for goals.
Do you know of maybe a player like Roberto Carlos?
Alikuwa anacheza very nice football.
But we don't remember him for scoring a lot of goals. We remember him for how he used
That's why we remember Pele. Because Pele was the great. Wacha nikwambie in football, usijue kuchenga, wewe jua tu kufunga. Pewa ball kama Haaland. Haaland hajui kuchenga.
Na unajua
anaruka kama sai.
Na unaona hiyo ya Haaland sasa hiyo ndio itakuja kuwa the determinant factor. Hiyo ndio ita decide kwa nini mwingine atapewa Ballon d'Or ahead of Haaland. Juu ya hiyo mambo tu ya kutap unapewa tu matapping.
Acha nikwambie ndugu yangu.
Football is
unaona ndio makocha wenye wana vote. Acha nikushow. Coach mimi kama coach time nilikuwa nikikoach kitambo. Mimi player it's not about footwork. Goals. Tuko 82th ama 92th. I need a player to score.
You need a player to score.
Yes.
But hizo times zingine zote you need a player who can play beautiful football. No. Player mwenye anafanya fans wakuje kwa
at the end of the day uta play beautiful football but without goals without winning the match then you're beautiful.
Like right now nikikuuliza what is the difference between maybe Mbappe and Haaland?
Haaland can score
and Mbappe can score too. Lakini kwa ratings Mbappe will be rated high.
But who will score a lot of goals?
Haaland ata score a lot of goals
in moment of crisis nani come through.
In fact our players wenye our players kama kina Haaland kama kina Ronaldo ni players wenye tulikuwa tunaona wanaweza kuwa contained. But players wenye wako na other skills, players like Messi, like Vinicius Junior, hawa ni players wana create a lot of problems even in those games they are needed the most.
Ndio kama mimi napenda Jose Mourinho. Mourinho aliambianga Balotelli, my friend, the rule is simple. Touch the ball, score. Hakuna kitu ingine.
And you know Mourinho, besides Mourinho win titles, is known as one of the coaches mwenye alikuwaga anaweza choose ku play a very boring game.
Yes.
Alikuwaga anaweza kuja kwa game a pack bus. Afanya counter attacks. Very boring football.
And result perfect. Simple. Pata hapo goal. At the end of the day in football what matters and I can tell you kama uko na ambitions ya kuwa coach in future it's just simple. Look for players who can score. Beautiful football hiyo waachia wazee wakitaka kujientertain. For those wenye and hii pia inasaidia investors. For those wenye wanataka kuwin titles. Umeelewa? Kuwin titles. Kucompete, kuwin hadi hizi awards. Ni goals. Champions League inashindwa na goals. Ligi inashindwa na goals. Hata na Ateta anajua hivyo. That's why unaona mtu kama Martinelli akikuja kuchenga akianguka analeta Trossard, anamtoa anamweka nje anaweka Trossard because Trossard anajua rules. Take the ball, score. Simple. Hivyo.
But unaona ikikuja kwa hizi prestigious awards like the Ballon d'Or kama right now tuko na Messi na Ronaldo wako out. But still Messi is recognized despite amescore lesser goals than Ronaldo. anakuwa considered as the better player by even the experts, by even the old players, by almost everyone. Why?
Me I think wewe penye unakosa na tukifunga sasa juu sasa umeguzia goat. The reason why Messi is the goat because Messi can play beautiful football and he can score.
Yes.
Hiyo quality hayuko kwa lot of players.
Ni a plus.
Hayuko kwa a lot of players. If you can get a player who can play good football and score, it's a plus.
What if you score? Can you create chances for your teammates?
Sasa, creating chances, you'll not be remembered for creating chances. Really? When history is written, sisi hatutakumbuka Roberto Carlos kwa kupatia Pele crosses. We write history, tutaandika Pele the great forward. Aliscore kama Cristiano Ronaldo 900 goals. Will you remember who created chances ya kuscore hizo 900 goals? So unakumbuka nani?
Lakini tunajua Toni Kroos amekuwa included hapo maana ya hiyo mambo.
Anyway, wewe hata wewe tutaki sana hata tutamaliza. Anyway, so before hata tukamalize haraka tu. Your final word?
My final word ni sisi kama team Kenya tukue nyuma ya Harambee Stars. Harambee Stars ni timu yenyewe inahitaji support yetu sana. Na naomba mafans wote hii game ina come next. Hii game ina come next ya Namibia. Itakuwa game tough sana lakini tukue nyuma ya Harambee Stars. I believe we can do it. Tukiwa support na tukiwaonesha that we believe they can do it also.
All right, and for me my take goes out to the families of the families of the 18 who lost their loved ones in the very tragic fire incident. And of course, as a nation, we continue to mourn, and of course we pray that the good Lord will comfort their families, give them peace, closure, even as they come to terms with this sudden and tragic incident that claimed at least 18 lives. And for those who are still missing, we pray and hope that their family too will find peace and closure. With that, we wind it up, and of course, many thanks for the men and women, of course, who have made this great show a success. My good name, don't forget, is one and only Auma Evans, or if you prefer, you can call me the Sports Prophet, because of the obvious things and sure things that I bring to you, the joyness when it comes to investing wisely and putting the money where your mouth is. Until next time, do have a lovely weekend, and God bless Kenya.
In a world where uncertainty looms and opportunities are scarce, it's time to break from the